So, we are continuing with the final batch of the 50 Founders Battle. As mentioned, we have the final 10 startups ready to pitch their souls out to you guys, the ones who are still here with us in the audience. But just before we start, what's the energy level? What is the energy level? We need this, guys. It's been a long day, and everyone is probably, feeling a bit down already by now, but soon we'll get drinks, we'll get food, and everything is gonna go up. But we are continuing with the final batch, and we have the dear jury in the high chairs. We have Karma VC, Linda representing. We have Lunar VC, great, BADideas.fund. Lauris, please wave. Manners.
Hey.
And we have Practica Capital. And one investor no one told me there would be. So who are you?
Hi, I'm Valentin. I'm from Fortech Investments.
Amazing. Great. Okay, so let's start with the first pitch. We have Adventum Tech. It's a team from Latvia, and it's going to be pitched by its CEO, Nikita. Welcome on stage.
Hello, TechChill. All right, we're good. Hi, my name is Nikita. I'm Chief Vision Officer and founder of Adventum Tech, and we are measuring the invisible. This was supposed to be a bridge that collapsed in Kansas City, Missouri, in the middle of last year in the United States of America, while workers were casting the top deck of the bridge right on the top. This accident brought to serious reputational risks to the contractor and the main engineer, severe project delays that are unknown by this day because there's an active police investigation. 1 worker died, 3 got heavily injured, and according to my experience, this type of damage could be valued of at least 10 million euros in direct losses. And let me tell you more about what happened there. Traditional reinforced concrete weighs around 1 ton per square meter, and that is heavy. And in order to support this load, temporary support systems are being applied. And here's the problem. Engineers trust only the theoretical calculation and the rule of thumb. That's why nowadays they tend to over-design things. We decided to tackle this issue in Adventum Tech and solve it once and for all by creating a sensor network and basing it on 5 core principles: load-bearing monitoring, concrete strength detection, surrounding environment control, deformation detection, and full analytics. By this date, we've developed 4 products: LiveLoad with intellectual property rights that measures the load bearing on a structure and temporary spots, TempSense to detect precise concrete strength, FlowSense to control the groundwater management, and SafePit to detect the safety of construction pit. And all our sensors are linked in LiveLoad app, and by using our solution, the contractor hedges the liability, reduces safety on site, and reduces project risks. We are in a team of 4. Davis, our chief hardware with 100+ prototypes in his pocket. Aldis, our chief IT developer. Me, Nikita, the driver, the captain of the submarine. And Arnold, our chief electronics. By this date, we've already gathered 1 mega project in our pocket, Postgrund, in the heart of Copenhagen, where we deployed 120 LiveLoad sensors and 200 TempSense sensor network. And look at this picture to what risk was the client exposed. Red means bad. And by continuous work on the project, we reduced the risk. Our main customers are real estate developers, general contractors, and equipment rental companies. And we're planning to produce and rent our sensors by adding engineering and consultancy service and generate revenues from a complete bundle. And in the end of this year, we're looking for our first investment round to scale up our startup and develop 5 additional sensors to become 10+ sensoring company. Thank you very much. I'll be happy to answer all your questions.
Amazing. Jury, yes, please.
So are you developing the sensors yourself, or is it licensed? And how many times can you reuse them? Is there anything that they are impacted by with the usage?
We're developing ourselves completely all the sensors, and they are fully recyclable.
Okay, thank you.
Linda?
Is there anything kind of comparable on the market? Who's your competition? what is the standard at the
Yes,
moment?
there is a competition on 4 of the sensors, but not on the live load. Our first live load that is unique in the world, and we have IP rights on it. But on additional sensors, there is competition on the market, but we can outperform them price-wise.
Lauris?
Besides this construction use case, do you have any other use cases in mind, and what are those?
Yes, we are working towards e-mobility and energy sector to develop unique sensors to solve issues there as well.
Yep.
Do you have any responsibility risks in case of failure?
In theory, yes, but we test all our sensors, specifically the ones that take all the load. We test them 3 times. We have very deep and accurate quality control system, so by this day we didn't have any issue yet.
Okay.
We can still take one real quick.
How do you see your sensors improving over time, or the data quality overall? Like, do you learn from one project for the other one?
Yes, but as I mentioned, we have so many ideas in our mind to develop that in 10 years we want to be the first construction site sensoring company to complete the full site with innovative solutions.
How many situations like the one that you showcased have happened? So what's the risk that the builders perceive?
As experienced engineer, I would say there's happening at least one every month globally in developed and undeveloped country. But here's the problem. When these type of accidents happen, the companies try to hide it to avoid all the reputational issues. Once there's some fatalities, of course, it comes to a police investigation.
All right, thank you. Round of applause
Thank
for
you very much.
Adventum Tech. So next up, we have OG Sense. It's also a Latvian team, and it's going to be represented by its CEO, Wolters. Round of applause for OG Sense.
Hi, I'm Wolters from OG Sense, and we are developing a new technology for ammonia detection in poultry farms. I think every one of us at least once in our lives has visited some smaller or bigger farm, and I guess that one of the first memories that comes to our minds from that time is this unpleasant pungent smell. The reason for this smell is mainly due to the high ammonia levels. Ammonia is produced by animals, and it can be found in their manure, which means that for some bigger animals like cows, horse, the ammonia is not so dangerous, but for smaller animals which are breathing the air quite close to the ground, high concentration of ammonia can seriously affect animal health. The question is what to do. Currently, the best way is to use ammonia detection sensors already available in the market, monitor the level, and ventilate the farm as much as necessary, but not more than necessary to save resources. But there is one big problem with this. Because ammonia is so aggressive, all sensors available in the market degrade and have to be often replaced. And by saying often, I mean several times a year. And here comes OG Sense. Our team is developing a new technology that measures ammonia levels. Our technology is patent pending. We use optical passive sensors that absorbs gas and detect it through light interaction with absorbing media. Because of our innovative technology, we can say that we are the first company in the market which can provide ammonia sensor that lasts for years instead of months. By using our sensors, there will be reduced the total amount of sensor waste as well. There are around 30,000 chicken farms all around the world, and you can imagine how many sensors are being used and often replaced. At the same time, our sensor will make significant saving to the farmer's budget, and it will become even more accessible for smaller farmers to provide healthy environment for their animals. Our business model is quite simple. We will produce sensors ourselves and distribute them through IoT/ventilation companies that already work with a lot of farmers all around the world. Our team consists of both. I am CEO of the company. I have years of experience in B2B sales and startup development. Alexei and Edwin are experienced photonics developers, and Arturs is our scientific lead with strong previous experience in academic research as well as new product development. Currently, our laboratory tests are successfully passed. We are doing our field tests in farms in Latvia. At the same time, we have had a lot of meetings with poultry farmers, and we see big interest to use our sensor. At the same time, we have also made a lot of connections with ventilation companies or potential customers which are ready to expand their product portfolio with our innovative sensor. Next steps are clear. We are finalizing field tests, making improvements to our final product, and starting sales. And to achieve that, we will be raising our pre-seed funding at the end of this year, 500,000 euro. Thank you, and let's make a healthier environment for our animals together.
Amazing. Thank you, Walters. Great timing. Questions? Yes, go ahead.
So you mentioned there are those sensors on the market already. What are the companies? Can you name some? Which companies produce them?
Actually, yes. One of the leading sensor companies is Dole Sensors, which is Dutchman group. Yeah, that's the leading one. Then are also some smaller ones like EC Sense, but they are mainly focusing on different applications, not so much about agriculture and farming. But yeah, these two ones are the main in this industry.
Could you give us an example, please? How much a farmer on average would save for your sensors, and how much you would capture per year?
Okay, if we are talking about savings, then currently for one sensor for a year costs around 1,500 euros. It's for one sensor a year, which for bigger farm means some few thousand, some 10 to 20,000 a year. One ore sensor will cost around 500 euros, and it will last for at least 3 years. And then, yes, you can do the math, but it's some 5 times approximately.
Any other questions?
Yeah, what are the primary regions that you're going to focus on, and roughly how many potential customers are in that region, let's say if we take Europe?
Yeah, actually, we are focusing mainly on Europe and United States because we see that this is a market where already existing sensors are being widely used because it's a little bit about sustainability as well. And yes, yeah, I forgot the question, second part, but yeah, we are focusing on these markets, and we have already made connections with around 15 potential customers, ventilation companies that works in these markets.
All right. Thank you so much,
you.
Walters. So we're continuing with another Latvian team, and this one has a really fun name. It's SpoCaBoo, and apparently it's not about ghosts. It is about marketplace for sports. So welcome on stage.
Hi, my name is Uldis, and I'm a founder of SpoCaBoo, and I'm really passionate about sports. And next week, there will be over 10,000 similarly passionate sportists running around the streets in Riga, participating in one of the biggest competitions in the Northern Europe, the Rimini Marathon. And not many can actually name the next marathon or the next 5K or even a 10K race that's happening nearby. And this is mainly because majority of the events are actually created by very small teams or individual athletes like myself. And they do not have the luxury of big budgets or media exposure and lack complementary skills to promote their events. And this in turn creates a problem for athletes. It's hard to discover races to participate in, and we have to encounter different inconvenient solutions for race registration and payment. So therefore, we have created SpoCaBoo, which is a marketplace solution that will allow athletes to discover events and plan their season, and will help organizers to manage their events and promote them for the new audiences. We have envisioned a solution that actually creates the calendar for you, right? And it gives you notifications of the races that are nearby, that are relevant to your liking. It lets you create teams, join clubs, and integrates with organizer websites, third-party solutions, and social platforms. Our first step, a public beta, is going live now. And we have gathered already over 200 events across the Baltic states, covering more than 20 different sports disciplines. We are in discussions with several federations and organizations to start onboarding them onto the platform in the coming months. Our next step is to create a registration service. That would be our initial revenue stream in the form of transaction fees. And by gradually adding several additional premium features for organizers, we're planning to introduce several subscription tiers. By our calculations, there are about 3,000 events in Latvia alone, which amounts to about 1 million in Europe. And by providing registration service for 10% of those events, the revenue would be around 200 million. Our focus on the athlete and on the wide selection of sports is actually what separates us from the competition, which are usually more focused on the very small regions, specific sports, or B2B solutions only. And our team is probably the sportiest geeks around, with extensive experience in IT management, development, and design. And we have participated in hundreds of events around Europe. And yeah, we invite everyone to join us, either as an early adapter, a team member, or become our first investor. And you can find us at SpoCaBoo.com. And we really hope that all of us can do less searching and more racing. Thank you.
All right, so first question.
Tell us. Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to ask if you could elaborate a little bit more on the competition and who's the closest to what you have, and maybe why you think this hasn't been done before and now is the right time to launch this.
I'll start with why it hasn't been done before. Probably it's a humongous challenge because the small race organizers are very scattered around different platforms, and they have different kind of ways to approach and serve this information. So actually to gather it together and make a platform that serves everybody is a tremendous challenge. But yeah, we really want to solve this because it's a pain point for us as well. In elaborating on the competition, so the biggest ones that I've seen so far are the ones that are actually solving problems for the organizations, so B2B solutions that are providing registration services, but they do not help the athlete in any way. So anyway, athletes have to go around the different websites and start to put their calendars together. So what we're aiming to do is to serve the athletes so that they come, they know that they can get all the information in one place, and that will actually bring also the organizers here to, once they kind of understand the value. That was too long.
Share a bit about how you gather the athletes on the platform. So you need the audience for the events. How do you bring them?
So our kind of go-to-market strategy is what we've done already, and this is why we're starting in Latvia, because we know the market. So what we're doing is we're just going in there ourselves, gathering the information, classifying it, kind of putting into our framework, and then posting it. So there's no organizations involved. We want to show that calendar for everybody so that you can join. If you're a runner, biker, swimmer, whatever, you go in, you put some criteria in, and you get your races that are of interest to you. Once we get the traffic, that should kind of attract the organizers as well.
All right, thank you. Your time is up. 2 questions. You should do better next time.
Yeah.
All right. So we are continuing. Yes, round of applause. No one wants long answers. Rule of thumb. All right, so we're continuing with AmaCare, a company represented by its co-founder Võeras, and they are doing a beauty product shopping and choosing.
Hi, everyone. Here you can see how $2,000 look like. It equals to annual beauty shopping cart of an average American woman. It is really, really hard to choose beauty products that actually work for you. That's why up to 40% of products that are bought are not used. So that's why we decided to build AmaCare, a Vivino for beauty products, to eliminate all the guesswork for users out of this equation. To make it happen, we are gathering the largest database of beauty bags linked to personal user profiles. This data is the fuel for our recommendation system. To make it simpler, we already built the best-in-class beauty product image recognition tool and friendly iOS app. This is going to be an unmatched engine because none of our competitors are able to have a data set that we are building. And being honest, they're not the best in personalization. We are still in development stage, but we got a proof of user interest because we were able to acquire more than 20,000 users in just 4 months without paid ads, with only some influence marketing on TikTok. These users, more than 40% of them, left their personal information on the website. And we were able to acquire more than 100,000 beauty product scans and screenshots of beauty products. The market is huge, and it's growing. It's going to be up to 130 billion, and it's only in the US. And I personally think that this is the best time to enter the market because of the 3 reasons. Because of the number of beauty brands are growing with enormous pace, because there is a trend on personalization, and because there is a shift to online shopping. Both my co-founder and I, we have an experience in retail, and our female majority strong tech team not only built AmaCare, but also actively use it. And we also get help from our advisors from L'Oreal, Estée Lauder, Farfetch, and Google. The future of beauty shopping is going to be amazing, and we are raising 1.1 million to be a part of it. If you want to join us, please come to talk to me after the show and download AmaCare. Thank you very much. I'm Vera from AmaCare. We love you and your healthy skin.
Yes.
Could you please elaborate on the recommendation engine a little bit more?
Yeah, sure. We want to do the same thing that Netflix and Vivino did. We want to get information about users, their skin issues, where they live, their lifestyle, and everything. And our users are actually actively sharing this data with us because they really are looking for personalization. And we want to match this data with products that users use and information if they like it or not. We want to tell a person from Chicago with acne and dry skin that 347 people from the same area and who look the same actually like that product, and maybe you should see and go and check that product and buy it.
Lauris?
You mentioned 40% of cosmetics going to waste. Is that the problem that you are solving?
No, we are actually helping. So that's one of the problems that we are solving. But the main thing, we are helping users to pick cosmetics better, so it will actually work for them. Because now they have to go shopping again, and again. But yes, if they will buy less cosmetics that don't work, less of them will go to trash.
Okay, one last question from Linda.
So I think personalized healthcare has so many different sides to it. You know, creams that are made for yourself, tailor-made, skin analytics, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So what are the data points or market kind of signals that you're getting that this is the right approach to take this market?
So can you please repeat the question because I didn't get it?
So basically, why do you think that the approach that you've taken in the personalized beauty industry is a winner?
Yeah, okay. So how the beauty process looks like right now. You learn about a new beauty product from your friend or influencer, and then you go and look for it somewhere in the internet. Usually it takes around 7 days for average woman to choose one new beauty product. So we actually get the data about the product, get information from similar users, and we give you and save you lots of time and actually eliminate lots of mistakes that you can make. So that's what we do.
Thank you. A round of applause.
Thank you very much.
All right, so next up we are continuing with a London-based startup who are building a medical clothing technology, and it's represented here by their co-founder, Zuzana. Welcome on stage.
Thank you. Last year, my grandmother fell down the stairs, fracturing her hip. It took forever for her to recover, and even today, she still hasn't regained full mobility. This will affect you and the other 250 million aging adults across Europe. Hello, everyone. My name is Susanna, and we are UPLYF, treating musculoskeletal diseases with smart clothing. 1 in 3 people suffer from musculoskeletal conditions. These conditions limit mobility and dexterity, leading to early retirement, social isolation, and increased risk of developing depression. The British National Healthcare Service spends £10 billion a year on MSK treatment, yet 77% of its patients are dissatisfied and want non-medicated support. That is why we developed the world's first wearable solution to holistically treat MSK conditions. Our wearables increase bone density, muscle strength, and range of motions. To do this, a combination of AI-enhanced vibrational and ultrasound stimuli are applied locally to the patient's body. At the same time, integrated sensors monitor the patient's health, providing data for better care plans and measuring progress. UPLYF is the first remote MSK treatment solution to target both muscles and bones. Conventionally, patients' time is confined to designated therapy times. However, with our wearable solution, treatment can be obtained anywhere and at any time. This way, we can save the patient's health and the NHS money. The global MSK mitigation market is worth almost £100 billion. Within it, at market entry, we're looking at a serviceable obtainable market of £162 million, which quickly grows with a subsequent expansion to mainland Europe, Japan, and the US. Our business model is a combination of B2C and B2B. B2C for older adults who want to regain mobility, and B2B for hospitals and care homes who want to improve patient outcomes. We're currently partnered with 4 NHS hospitals and are working with an English chain of care homes and the 3rd biggest hospital in Poland. For B2C, we secured 60 pre-orders and 200 plus waiting list signups within 1 week. Our team has a track record of developing cutting-edge medical innovations. I have led research on cholesterol and glucose non-invasive sensors. Our head of design, Cassie, has worked in this field for the last decade, and my co-founder, Alok, is the sole inventor of a new class of wearable actuators. During this pitch, another 10 people have been stripped away of their independence because of musculoskeletal diseases. Help us change this, and let's empower the aging community together. Thank you. Also, apologies for the ticking with the microphone. I don't know what happened here.
Don't apologize on stage. All right, let's start with Vilius. No, with Valentin.
So what stage of development are the sensors in?
So we are actually not developing proprietary sensors. We're developing proprietary treatment technology. Our technology is currently at TRL 5, and we are testing with mentioned hospitals this summer.
Yeah, go ahead, Lunar.
Since you're testing, how do you measure the impact on the well-being of patients? Like, do you have an estimate of, say, quality-adjusted life years or anything?
So we haven't tested the quality of life just yet. What we have tested so far is kind of the physical responses. However, in the testing that I mentioned this summer, we'll do continuous questionnaires to measure how the patients perceive their own quality of life as it improves. Thank you.
Any more questions? Yes, Vilius?
So what about the user journey? So how long are they supposed to use this product? How often? Is there a fixed cycle that they need to complete, or is it more like...
A very good question. So it actually really depends on the condition. That's why we're mostly focusing on B2B, working with the clinicians, working with the physiotherapists. So let's say you have a muscular injury because you just went skiing and you had an injury, right? Then it's a short-term use. So they're getting it through their clinician. They're using it for 2 weeks, actually shortening the rehabilitation time. But let's say they have a chronic condition like osteoporosis. Most women over 60 suffer from this. With our condition, they can increase bone density by up to 16%. And so for them, it's something they would ideally incorporate in their daily routines.
Real quick one.
What kind of operations do you need to manufacture something like this on a scale?
Oh, is the question about the supply chain, or?
Just what do you need to, at scale? Like how hard is it to manufacture? What kind of machinery?
Absolutely, very good question. So right now we're working with a manufacturer who's the sector lead in smart technology. So he's able to basically work with us up to 50,000 units per month.
Great. Thank you so much, Zuzana.
Thank you.
All right, so next up is Huntli, another Latvian-based team, and it's going to be presented by its co-founder, Lev. Round of applause.
Hey everybody, my name is Lev. I'm one of the co-founders at Huntli. So at Huntli, we target to free up to 100 billion euro worth of capital for banks and payment service providers and other financial institutions by bringing them the most flexible compliance tools there are on the market. So sounds like kind of a bullshit, right? So let me explain you why not. I see you laughing there. So essentially, in modern day compliance, the industry itself is very, very conservative, so to say. They have multiple departments. Those would be compliance department, risk management, investigation, escalation, security. I have not enough fingers on my one hand to name them. And essentially, they use one or two technologies per department to deal with their day-to-day operations. This creates exorbitant costs and also exorbitant losses to fraud, scams, regulatory fines, and everything around that. So what we did is we went on interviews with over 40 experts from compliance industry. We asked them specifically how their day-to-day operation works, and we built our solution around their daily processes and issues that they're actually dealing with on a daily basis. So essentially how it works is we analyze bank data in large quantities. We make sense of it by applying a rule-based scenario set in order to determine which client behavior issues potentially raise red flags. And we already see up to 60% of effectiveness and cost effectiveness improvements throughout our client set. Further, we're planning to enhance our solution with AI ML-based elements that will analyze data on larger quantities through a series of clients, not just one client, but series of clients, and are able to determine which clients migrate, which fraudsters migrate between multiple departments. Sorry, multiple banks and payment service providers. So where are we at right now? We currently have 17 paying customers. Last year, we generated 400,000 euro revenue. We're growing month over month 30%. We currently have 17 working people, went through audit with financial regulators, with banking as a service providers, and have a lot of satisfied clients. We also built an efficient network of partnerships, including likes of MasterCard and SumSub, and we have some great testimonials to back us up. So we are Lev, Dmitro, and Sergey, a Latvian-Ukrainian team of founders. I have experience in sales, compliance, KYC, IML. Dmitro and Sergey, they're more technical, so Dmitro has over 10 years of experience in product development, specifically for gambling and betting industry, where he worked with risk management directly. And Sergey worked for over 25 years at major Northern European banks. So thank you for your attention. Help us build the future of compliance.
All right, questions, Linda.
Can you talk a little bit more about the competitive advantage that you guys have ahead of the others already? Because it's a fairly competed market, so how does that look from your perspective?
Yeah, so here's the thing. What we see right now in the market a lot is that competitors still target like very niche issues and are failing to see this whole thing as a large industry with one particular problem, a non-unification of tools that are being used right now. So some are good at pre-screening, some are good at counterparty screening, there are good like fraud prevention tools. We see it as a whole issue.
Is that a bit of a kind of risk for you guys as well, if you're taking all of that responsibility?
Not really. It's actually an advantage. So we would plant ourselves dealing with like smaller issue and then sprout to the rest of our clients' company throughout.
Lauris?
You mentioned 17 customers, 400K ARR, pretty impressive. Well done. What have been the main channels to get there?
So we use our own personal network as well as our partnerships network. So we would partner with a company that is, let's say, banking as a service, which provides like bank out of the box. And our solution there would be a risk management solution by default. And this is something that we have replicated with a bunch of service providers.
Valentin?
Can you talk a little bit about the business model as well? So how much do you charge and what, based on what?
So business model is pretty straightforward. We have a monthly subscription for smaller clients who are not really sure about their expected volumes, which is on median generates 1,500 a month per client. And then we have annual subscription, which is usually taken by larger customers who are more sure about what they need, how they need it, what kind of work our system will be doing, what will be the workload. So we usually charge them 35 to 42,000.
Thank you. Round of applause for Lev.
Thank you.
So next up is a startup called Qrunch. It's a B2B SaaS platform for hospitality, and it's going to be presented by its co-founder, Juliana. Welcome on stage.
Hi everyone, I'm Juliana, co-founder of Qrunch, and we are a platform that seamlessly connects guests with the hotel staff. A couple of past years, I've been in very close contact with dozens of hotels and biggest hotel operators. And #1 problem that hotels are facing right now is a lack of workforce. While this industry still haven't recovered from the COVID, hotels are looking for ways to increase their revenues. But with the lack of workforce, upselling of their products and services becomes increasingly hard. This is why we are offering a solution that helps hotels to automate their processes in a ways that decreases workload of their staff while increasing their revenues by upselling their products and services to existing hotel guests. In our platform, hotels can pick and choose several products based on the processes they need to automate, starting from the food and beverage orders in a room service or by the pool, to the housekeeping requests or even table booking at the restaurants. While on a guest side, you can choose any product or the service that hotel is providing. You can order it using your own mobile phone in your own language, and what's most important, without presence of the staff member. We are working currently with the 15 hotels, and by using our technologies, they've been able to triple their room number orders. Our adoption rate reaches 80% by the end user, and during the last month, we've been able to reach 5,000 sessions going through our platform. While most of the competition has focused on pre- and after-stay services, there is a rising competition in in-stay management as well. But currently on the market, there is no competition or a company that focuses on both or are able to automate all of the processes at this stage, which is a great opportunity for us to be the first and the best in the market. Our strategy currently, we apply either a monthly fee, which is based on a hotel's location, number of rooms, and number of models they are using, or we are charging a service fee per order. This is my team. My co-founder is a CTO who have fully built the platform. Recently, we have a full-time salesperson joining our team, and we have a very experienced advisor with more than 20 years in SaaS hospitality in a tech sphere, which is linking us with the great contacts all around the world. We are looking for $280K investment for upcoming 12 to 18 months. And we believe that automation in the right places will elevate guest experience during the most precious leisure time. Feel free to connect. I'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you.
Amazing, great timing. Jerry? Yes, Vilius?
Could you describe the ideal client profile? So what type of hotels you're mainly servicing or aiming to service?
Our ideal customer profile is the luxury resort because it has most of the touch points where we can automate the most of the processes. It's preferably in a warm location because then you can serve the room service and also outside area like a pool, etc.
Valentin?
Yeah, what would you achieve with the 280K? What are the objectives for the round?
Sorry, can you repeat?
What are the objectives that you want to achieve with the 280K?
Yeah, we want to reach more than 200 deals with the new clients, which would leave us for more than 40,000 monthly recurring revenues.
Lauris?
You mentioned 2 to 3 times increase in orders or
yes.
additional services. How does it translate to euros per guest or per hotel?
This really depends on the hotel because each hotel has different, how to say, like in some hotels, the room service is a big thing. In some hotels, it's a smaller thing. So depending on their baseline.
One last question, Linda?
Can you talk a little bit about the market size overall? How much hotels are willing to pay for something like this, and how many hotels are in your target market, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, so actually the hospitality business is measured in trillions. That's why I didn't put it on the slides. But how much we are charging, so depending on the models they're using, our goal is to reach more than 250 euros per client. And this depends on the amount of models they are using. For example, if they also doing the table booking for the restaurants, it becomes more expensive, so each model adds to the monthly subscription fee.
All right, thank you so much. So we are continuing with a Lithuania-based team, Tokitus. It's a VR therapy room and a platform that they're developing. So round of applause for its CEO.
Hi. Sometimes it's difficult to pronounce my name. So my name is Ulvia. I'm a co-founder of Tokitus online therapy platform. I'm also a licensed psychotherapist and a PhD candidate in psychotherapy science in Sigmund Freud University, Vienna. Today I'm going to present to you our platform. So therapy, you probably tried therapy and you know how good that might be. Therapy is not about sadness, trauma, or pain anymore. It's also about self-development, growth, and improvement. We have already established a platform and worked for 3 years with a successful business model. We have 25 therapists operating in 18 languages. We have done successful 5,000 sessions and payouts of 200K. That's the difference that we are doing now. We are not a regular online therapy platform because on the left side, you see all the tools or the part of tools that therapists have in their offices. On the right side, we are modernizing therapy and therapy tools, and trust me, there are so many different tools that can be implemented in online therapy. Tokitus is a SaaS-enabled marketplace that helps mental health professionals run their practices worldwide. Here are some of the tools that are already there: online cabinet, marketing system, payment system, marketing support, expert support, as well as Zen Shapes that develops digital tools to implement them online. Here are some of the successful things that we have already done. We were accelerated by the University of Bocconi. I was featured as 5 most influential women leaders in 2023. We have switched from being just a client-oriented platform towards being oriented to our therapists, allowing them to manage their work online, and we already grew in 30% in revenues. Here are some of the things that Zen Shapes does on therapy, with therapy online. We are working with the VR tool technologies now. We already developed a mobile app that helps clients track their mood and connect with their clients throughout the week. We are working on the chat for our therapists, as well as we are working on some of the tools such as worksheets, drawing paths, music, and movie therapy. That's our team. I'm a CEO. I'm responsible for therapist success, for the processes, business-related processes. Thomas is our technology guy. Lucas works with the marketing side, and Jerry is our advisor from the US, who is a true believer in switch from the classical therapy setting towards a digitalized setting. And we are raising today 300,000 euros to work on the improvement of mental health, to build our team, to increase our team, to sell our services to clients, as well as develop immersive tools. Thank you. If you want to try therapy, here's the ChillPill promo code that you can try on Tokitus.com online therapy platform. Thank you.
Thank you for the clicker. Jerry.
Yes.
Can you talk a bit about the business model? So how much do you charge? And who?
Yes, we were charging a set amount of price, but now it's not set anymore. So we are charging from 50 euros to 110 euros per session, depending on the location and the background of our therapist.
Next up. Vilius?
So I wasn't sure, are the therapists full-time employees of yours, or is it the marketplace and we're just using
That's the marketplace for therapists, yes. Yes.
Maybe this market kind of is difficult to understand from the outside because it feels like this has been done before in many different ways with smaller different areas. So what is your view on overall your kind of special approach in this and how it will kind of grow?
Yes, apart from delivering therapy in 18 different languages, we are also the only platform that develop tools that are being classical, offline, in-cabinet therapy tools, and we are modernizing them to be used in online setting. And there are plenty of different great tools, creative tools that can be used online, and they're not used yet. And just imagine yourself the market of teenagers as well, and people in general who want to be interactive throughout therapy, but they're limited now, and there are no other platform who does the same thing as we do, together with a bunch of experts who really know the whole story behind as professionals in mental health.
Could you restate your numbers, please, a little bit? So how many therapists do you have on the platform? How many users on the demand side? How many sessions per month are you having?
Yes. So we have 25 therapists currently, and this number is because we are not heading towards having more therapists. It's more about quality, and there are hundreds of therapists behind on the waiting list who would like to join our platform. We also do around 180 sessions per month, so it's mainly like we already did more than 5,000 successful sessions throughout the 3 years of work, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Olbia.
Thank you.
All right, so last 2 startups left. And next up is a company called Peero, and it's going to be pitched by its founder, Jānis.
The clicker? Thank you. Hi, everyone. Some energy by the evening. Let's immerse ourselves, as we are not a typical startup. We are obviously inventing something new. So what we are doing is a new product category. It's called People Analytics. Probably heard, probably not. And in order to better understand what that is, let's imagine that we are Paula. And Paula, in this case, can be any hiring manager. And on Paula's agenda is to hire a product owner, let's say. And the time that she has is 4 weeks. 4 weeks, repetitive meetings, so many data points generated, and so much money essentially wasted. When the ideal candidate is found, Paula indulges in trainings, in immersive sessions with the candidate, training and teaching and onboarding and just doing whatever the best she possibly can. By month number 3, the candidate leaves. Is there anything that you think Paula could have done differently? With Peero, we frequently hear business leaders answering to such situations as, I feel we are not paying them enough. I think the training sucked. So most likely there is something with the emotions. In addition to that, it is all supported by the so-called digital workplace, where you have all the possible video communication tools. You have the HR systems, you have the finance systems, you have pretty much every single system to support every single action that you do in the workplace these days. What Peero does is essentially we take the best out of the data and we do 3 things of the data that the employee generates in their employee lifecycle. So we take the data and first of all we clean it, we centralize it, and the best of it is that we run targeted, personalized surveys on top of your problematic situations. So if your problem is churn, we'll run a survey not to every single body in the company, as it is used to right now, but only to people that are in the category to be churned or the risk to leave. So it actually makes a totally different product category. It's not been done before yet, and we have a positive traction. At this moment, we have 3 product types. We have 44 committed customers and 12 finished integrations. We really want to get to at least 50 finished integrations in the next 12 to 14 months or so. And we have paved very clear way with a very clear sales and market acquisition plan how we will go after the Central and Eastern European markets, the idea how we will do it. And we are pretty much well equipped with the team of amazing data scientists, machine learning specialists, and data analysts that separates us from the bunch. So if you want the data-driven decisions in your company, Peero is the solution. Thank you.
Jury, take it away. Anyone? Yes?
Could you maybe describe the team a little bit more and your guys' prior experiences?
The team and?
And the prior experience you've had that's relevant for Peero.
Okay, cool. So we are a spin-off from a corporate that primarily works with data analytics. It's just these three particular products is a totally new category that we have found our corporate customers liking a lot. So that's hence the focus, hence the spin-off. Yes, please.
What's the ultimate metric you're optimizing for? Is it employee retention or some other metric?
Awesome. As you know, business is a vast combination of processes. So far we have solved at least 50 particular, diagnosed at least 50 particular issues, starting from understanding which people can be predicted to churn, so we can, target them with a particular questionnaire in order not to churn and lose money on them. Then there is retention, then there is onboarding, it's hiring. It's so many metrics actually, right? So there's difficult to name one.
Do you use any other tools apart from the questionnaires?
Tools?
Any other tools apart from the questionnaires?
Yes. So we have several methodologies, but again, we are very cautious. We have been in this HR space. A lot of the methodologies, they come from 60s, when the capitalism was invented and the first businesses were born. So we are very cautious. We're actually rather trying to look at what else we can do and what has not been done before in terms of methodologies.
What is additional value that this gives me on top of, let's say, a typical engagement survey that I would run regularly?
Yeah, the typical engagement survey, it will be run top, down, across, like if I'm the CEO and these are the employees, I can ask everybody a question. So what we do is we personalize. So maybe just that cluster of the group has a particular problem and they are in this problem cluster. They're about to resign. They have had a negative experience onboarding. So I can actually target them particularly because I know I have the data of the company that's already available, right? So that's the biggest difference.
All right, give it up for Peero.
Thank you.
So we have arrived to the very last picture of today. It's a company from Estonia. Food Filters is here.
Hello, my name is Ernest, and I'm with Food Filter Startup. Every 1 in 10 adults in the United States and European Union suffer from food allergies. Actually, not only allergies, but also they have different kind of religious food restrictions, diets, and so on. And this trend is growing. The only way right now to check your ingredients is by reading them. Sometimes it is in small script. It's difficult to read. Foreign language, you just don't understand what's written. And we have a solution. You just fill your profile, scan the barcode, and you'll get all the ingredients list. The unwanted ones will be in red. If you're a Weight Watcher or an athlete, you can check the daily calories that you consume, macros, sugar, salt, and so on. And we have competitors. There are quite a lot of barcode scanners. Most of them are specialized either on fitness, sports, or they check just a limited amount of restrictions using the certificates like vegan, halal, lactose-free, and so on. we check indeed every single ingredient that you wish. For example, if you are a young mom, you don't want your children to eat some kind of food colorings or preservatives, you just put one of them or a range, and we will check them for you. Most of our users will be free. About 10% are expected to be premium users with several allergies. There are some potential ways for B2B business as well. We have launched in March in Estonia. You can download the app in Estonia. And we aim for United States market by the end of this year. Next year, we're going to come back to Baltic states and Scandinavia, and then one by one, every country in the world. We have a very cool team. We have developers, marketers. I'm food chemist. My wife has been a Weight Watcher, and she's checking all the ingredients all the time. Enel has food allergies, and her children have food intolerances. And Mehmet, our backend developer, he's a halal eater. And together we want to change the world for a much more comfortable and a better place. And please join us. Thank you.
Questions?
How have you built the database of ingredients and mixing between the issues, the health issues?
There are data aggregators that supply data. It can be bought. In the United States, FDA gives the ready available database. That's the reason we're going to United States. The only country in Europe is Denmark that has the same database, and we'll have to check the aggregators.
Any other questions?
What would you say kind of helps with the tech defensibility? Like why can't your competitors do something like this?
You know, the ingredients are written in human language, in natural language. It is the text that should be processed, and we have a know-how how to process it, how to understand every single ingredient. We want to apply artificial intelligence to this. We don't have patents yet, but we are aiming there.
Yep.
Can you speak a little bit about the business model?
Yeah. The premium users, B2C clients, will have a monthly subscription that will be about 3 to 6 euros a month. Basically, that's it. There are B2B ways like direct marketing channels or client behavior patterns that can be checked through different clients that are checking the different products. It can be sold as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Ernest.
Yeah, thank you.